Yo, what's up guys, Non-Zero here, and welcome to another video. This is actually gonna be on Dragon. I had some like win 4 rank games. There we go, that was my quest, sorry about that. So naturally, if I have ladder games, I'm gonna play Dragon for the most part. The only times when I'll deviate from that is if I need to, is if I'm in like a rush, or if there's like some goal in mind that like forces me to like want to deviate from that, just because like Dragon games, even the games where you nut draw people, they don't end that fast if your opponent has outs to like your Bahamut and whatnot. And there are quite a few outs to Bahamut right now. Like sure, some decks like some like more aggressive aggro decks can't deal with it or anything like that, but some of the slower mid-range and control decks can. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the deck list. I did make some slight tweaks to this. I'm still testing stuff out though as a whole, so this deck is still subject to change. So this is my Polyphonic Roar deck featuring Dread Sea Queen, so hence the name Polyphonic Sea. So this is the list. Okay, so I guess the first card we'll talk about is Dragonate Fist, because that's the one that's probably like, what? So Dragonate Fist it's essentially a mini Breath of the Salamander. It's not quite as it's not always as good as Breath of the Salamander. However, it's one of the cards in the game that can essentially, like, well, one for one, quote unquote, Tove if you don't have an answer, just because it will do 4 damage. Sure, you'll pitch a card, but for the most part, like, one thing that people don't realize in Dragon is that, like, a lot of times the amount of cards that you have does and doesn't matter. What I mean by that is, well, yes, it's nice to have cards. However, later in the game, you're usually just going to be playing Ouroboros 9 out of 10 times. So for the most part, whatever else you have doesn't really matter. In the strictest of sense, well, yes, it's nice to have options. Most times, your game plan, once you see the Oro is already set. But yeah, it's just really nice. It also helps deal perfectly with turn 3 Goblin Leader in the event that you clear their Tove with like something like 2-drop plus Blazing Breath, and then they play Goblin Leader, and then you get to clear off both targets all at once, and you get to deny the Alice Snowball. It's really nice. A lot of the Japanese lists have been playing 3. I'm only playing 1 at the moment, just so I can get a better feel for the card, because it's actually a card that I've been trying to play around with for a while. I just kind of never get around to it, just because a lot of my homebrews don't really include it, because there are a lot of things I'm kind of like fixated on playing. I added a second Dragon Summoner because I'm pretty sure at one point this list had just 1. However, 2 is nice, just that way you get like even more added consistency. Additionally, it's essentially a 2 HP ward, which is nice because your opponent is going to value trade into it most times, just because, like, well, if they don't, then like it augments your pings as well as your Breath of Salamander AoE at times. Like, for example, something you can do with it is you can ping off 3 HP units with a combination of Tina plus Summoner, or you can clear off multiple 3 HP boards, which is where Breath of Salamander struggles. It's once you break that 3 HP threshold, and it's just really nice for that. Additionally, it does buy you some time because people also, because as I said, people do go pretty trade happy and trade into it. And then 1 Dread Sea Queen. So Dread Sea Queen, what I found is that I like using it in the same manner in which I would use Imperial Dragoon, and that which, if you don't know, I'm actually a major Imperial Dragoon advocate. I'm not playing it in this meta just because I don't really feel like you can. Well, you can, but like I don't feel like it's like amazing versus blood or anything like that. Like, it's probably decent if you're like ahead or anything like that, but if you're ahead versus blood, you're probably already won, because to be ahead versus blood, that usually means that you like resolve like an Israel or like a Bahamut or something like that. But Yeah. So for Dread Sea Queen, it's nice because again, as I mentioned in a previous video, you usually go Dread Sea Queen plus Polly plus Israfil. That's usually the way that I use it. However, you can also go Dread Sea Queen, Bahamut, then play your Polly after you play the Bahamut. So that way, you not only have a giant 13/13, you also have an amulet that your opponent's not gonna be able to deal with. That's just gonna keep making you 5/5s. And for those cases, it doesn't matter they don't have a hand, just because like each turn you get a +1 and you get a +1 in a resource. That's usually gonna go 1 for 2. Because for the most part, Dragon is a deck that cares about simplified game states. Just because in simplified game states, things like giant your giant fatties like Oro and Israfil and Bahamut, they all like get to work, and they all become massively harder for your opponent to deal with, just because like they'll be out of cards. And it's really important to remember that, and which is why Polly is good. Right, so a friend of mine was like, well, Polly isn't that good versus Blood. It's fine, but it's not fine. It's fine, but it's not good versus Blood, because like you don't have to play. Right. So one of the things with silver bullet anti-tech cards that like that happens a lot of the time. With a good example of this is being Iron Maiden and what's the other one called? Forbidden Ritual. Is that those cards are only good for like one specific matchup, and you have to play multiple copies of them in order to see them on time. And then sometimes even when you do see them, there's sometimes like not enough. Whereas like for Polly, you only have to play one copy. So you can go up to 2 like me, or you can go Uriel and a Polly. But for the most part, you usually only play one to two effective copies of the card. And you don't really care about whether or not you draw it or not for the most part, just because you have a lot of card draw effects, because Dragon Summoner gets you a card. Oracle, the second Oracle you play usually gets you a card. Fervor gets you 2 cards. And then like if you know / you have an idea of if you're versus that class, you can go ahead and mulligan for it. Like there are very few games that I've lost after I put a Polyror into play, and the Polyror has actually like stayed in play. Like it's just a really good card, and right now that shows, because I don't think I've seen many, if any, actually, Grandmaster Dragon lists that have not included at least one copy of this card, just because this card helps you beat the majority of your bad matchups, and it's just, yeah, it's honestly like a staple include, I think, from this point on. Well, at least in this current meta game, especially with Haven the way it is. Yeah, so let's go ahead and go to the games. So, alright. So let's quickly recap the games I lost. So, this game versus Haven, the one that I lost, it was... Oh, he was Alana Haven, but he applied like a little bit of pressure pre-Alana's and just kind of like shit out his entire board. And one of the issues with Haven is that like is that a lot of the Haven creatures, they have awkward amounts of HP for Dragon to clear. Like if you pop your Beast Claw Aria and then you Evo the bird, that's a 4 and a 3. You can clear the 4, but you can't clear the 3, and vice versa. And then so like he just shut out his board, and I kind of misplayed by thinking that I would be able to Fervor a second time. Like already getting to Fervor the first time should have been enough, and I should just try to break up his board. However, I didn't think he'd be able to commit as much as he did. So I just kind of lost because I got like greedy. And then for this Runecraft game, that might have been yesterday, so I don't actually remember. Anyway, so we're just gonna get to the main game, which is gonna be versus Forest, because this game was, oh Oh my goodness, I don't even know. Alright, so Forest is a pretty unfavored matchup for Dragon, just because Dragon is a control deck. All control decks naturally fold to combo decks just because that's the nature of how they work, because they don't put anything out for you to control, and because by definition most control decks could go relatively slow, that gives the combo deck enough time to gather up its pieces and then kill you in one go. This is why Haven has such like a negative win rate versus D-Ship, because like D-Ship doesn't give a fuck about what you're doing. They're just gonna keep drawing cards, setting up their D-Ships, and then they're just gonna triple D-Ship you out of the game. Well, it's the same thing for Dragon versus Force. However, unlike Haven versus Rune, the Dragon versus Force one is a bit more easier to manage. Now, it wasn't as easy in previous metas, just because OTK Roach was really strong, and Dragon did not have the defensive backbone that it does now. So because I'm expecting him to be a slower version of Forest, because like for the most part right now most of the Forests I see, they basically just pass turns 1 to 3. Yeah. So I go ahead and I keep Fervor. I also kept the Breathless Salamander as well. However, you don't have to keep the Breathless Salamander. I just like keeping it, just because although yes I'm going first, it's nice to clear off his 2-drop or something like that, so that way he doesn't turn 3 Ancient Alchemy for to get a 3/4, which would then become a 5/6. And the Fervor is just nice because like you do get some time in the early stages to go ahead and ramp and try to not draw them. I don't remember if sorry about that. I don't remember if I kept the Fina or not. If I kept the Fina, that was a mistake. Okay, no, I didn't keep the Fina. I just redrew it. Alright, so here I play Ayala. Now this is nice because the Ayala is going to be cumbersome from the one to deal with. However, he makes the cardinal mistake of you kill Ayala on 3. You never ever fucking kill Ayala on 3 unless you already had creatures on the board. Like, so basically, the only time where it's like okay, quote unquote, to kill Ayala on 3 is if you were going first and you had like double creatures on board, and then you just like killed the Ayala that way, just because you're already applying pressure on the board. However, look at his board. He has no creatures. He's not applying any pressure at all. So now I'm going to get to double Fervor for free. I say double Fervor because most likely he's gonna either hold on to the fairy, which is fine. I don't care if he does. And so I'm going to go ahead and Fervor this turn. Next turn he's going to want to play EPM. But I'm just going to Fervor into that as well. Like, I'm under 0 pressure, and I'll be drawing 6 cards, and I'll be at like 9 mana. So if any one of those 6 cards are Polyroar, I've won this game. Like, yeah, like what I mean by that is one of the issues of Polyroar, and one of the reasons why a lot of people who don't actually like play around with the card say use as a counter argument for why the card is bad, is because you don't get enough time to play a 9 mana do nothing amulet. Well, 9 mana for Dragon comes a hell of a lot sooner than 9 mana for other classes. Like 9 mana for Dragon is usually turn 6 or turn 7, or sometimes even turn 5. But anyway, so he plays with the fairy. Again, we don't care about this. We're fervoring. I do draw second Israfil, which is kind of, it's not what I wanted to see. Like, it's nice because it gives me healing, but it's not what I wanted to see. Alright, and this turn he passes as well, which is kind of weird. Because I expect him to want to have EPM there, or maybe just, you know, play like a, not Glimmering Wings, but the other card, Into the Looking Glass, because right now Neutral Force is really, really big. Like right now, the variants of Force that you see are Neutral Force, the B&B like OTK Force, and then like Neutral Roach. And then of course you also see like OTK Roach as well. That's like brought back like angelic snipes and whatnot in order to like OTK you from like I think turn 6, turn 7, something like that. But anyway, so we're just gonna fervor, and so I don't overdraw, I'm gonna go ahead and give him this Breath of the Salamander. Now again, it's a low target, but I don't want to overdraw. If I overdraw my poly, I'm gonna have a rough time. So I draw second Breath of the Salamander, and so now I just go ahead and flood out my board. I could have played Israfil, however, I didn't want to get randomly Dance of Death. Additionally, he's going into 6 mana, so what he could play is he could play Crystalia Lily on my Israfil, and I'll just be sad because the Israfil got me no healing and just traded 1-for-1 with an effective removal spell. Additionally, by flooding the board, it makes my Grimnir scary, because like the scariest Grimnir I think from Dragon is the one where they had a creature on board before they hit you with the Grimnir. So again, I just go ahead and flood. There is merit to me playing up the Tina instead, just because like I didn't need to heal this turn. However, I like Sybil's stat line just because it makes it really hard for him to clear, because he can't just play Will of the Forest and clear it off. However, here he has triple May, and I'm just like, what face? He evolves the May, and then trades into the Rahab, and then he also plays Pixie Mischief. I'm just like, what the fuck? Now, Elfchild May is a card that you currently like no longer really see, just because right now Neutral Force they have one of the best TPP removal spells in the game, and that of Elf Twins Assault. Like Elf Twins Assault has, for the most part, for all intents and purposes, like replaced Elfchild May, just because it packs a hell of a stronger punch, and that I've had games in which people have gone Elf Twins Assault for like 8 on me, and that's pretty good. But anyway, so here this turn is kind of awkward for me, because he's played up the maze. I now have to be like suspicious, and what I want to do here is I want to go ahead and layer my threats. I want to try to hold onto this Bahamut for dealing with roadblocks, such as like say Jungle Warden or say Crystalia Aaron. And like when you play Dragon, you want to sort of like escalate your threats whenever possible. Like, so for the most part, in terms of priority, you usually play Aura the most, then you play Israfil, and then you play Bahamut last. Additionally, by going Israfil here, this is nice because I get in 2 chip damage, and this 2 chip damage is important just because it now means if my Bahamut ever sticks and I have another Evo point left, that he will die to Bahamut plus Grimnir, because Bahamut plus Grimnir is 17 without an Evo and then 19 with an Evo. So I've kind of like pushed him down into that damage threshold. Additionally, I have a 10-10 on the board. He has to have May, or sorry, not May. He has to have Lily to clear it. He does have the Lily, so now I'm upset. I'm still just like waiting for my Polyroar here. Like I've seen almost half my deck, and I haven't seen a copy of it yet. But here I get annoyed because of the because of the Crystalia Lilies. So I go ahead and I overcommit my Bahamut here, and but I do this with the knowledge of, well, if he doesn't have second Lily, then I can win. He hasn't drawn at all, so it's a fairly good chance that he won't have second Lily. He needs to have either second Lily, or he needs to have what's it called? Or he needs to have Dance of Death in order to clear this. Additionally, he can also use Pixie Mischief. But do you really want to give Dragon back a Bahamut? I don't think you do. He has a second Lily, and right now I'm just like super frustrated. I'm just like, what the fuck? Then he also plays Pixie Mischief to balance it, so not have to worry about the fact that he can play. Alright, so me seeing that Pixie Mischief is actually like, oh god, it is like soul crushing, because what that means is that now the next big target I play is automatically getting Lilied, the target I play after that is most likely getting lilied again if he has a bounce for it. And then there's there's still the third copy in his deck I have to worry about now. So I'm in an awkward position, in which I have to like commit enough things to the board that don't actually get blown out by other things, because he still has Evo points left, and this is the other big issue. So I go ahead and just like flood out my board. I also get the snowman out of my hand, which is nice because it was gonna be hard to get it out of my hand otherwise. But here he plays Lily, so this is his third Lily played. So for those counting at home, 3 Lilies played thus far. And Lily is actually super annoying versus Dragon, just because like Dragon relies on being able to ramp out big fatties, and then having those fatties go like 3 for 1 or something like that, and you just kind of like chain those fatties in order to get like massive card advantage, and then you just kind of win. However, that doesn't work versus Forest because they have Lily, who just turns it into a snowman. Like, getting your Oro turned into a snowman is actually very, very sad. But anyway, he turns this into a snowman as well, and I'm like, cool, awesome. Then he plays Ancient Elf, so now he's gonna play his Lily a 4th time. Yeah. He does give me an Evo though, so it's not the worst thing. I'm still slightly upset, but it's not the worst thing. Okay, so here I play Grimnir. I only played the Grimnir because like if he wants to get Jungle Warden, that's fine. I don't care because I just like Bahamut over it. Additionally, I wanted to value my last Evo point and the healing a little bit more. However, what I should have done, I think, was go Sybil plus Breathless Salamander plus Ayala. Now this is nice because like again it refloods up my board, and it makes it so that the majority of my damage that some part of my damage is gonna stick. Like it essentially gives me added insurance. If he takes even one more point of damage, then I won't need an Evo with Bahamut. All I'll need is to just have some like AoE removal for his board, and then I'll be able to kill him. So here he plays the Crystalia Aaron. That's fine. I don't care about that. Like it's annoying and it's gonna get my last Evo, but I don't really care about that. Because while yes, he's done like annoying things to me thus far, he hasn't actually drawn or searched for roach pieces. This is important because he needs to have a large hand size and the roach in order to kill me. But he doesn't even have 0 cost in his hand yet, so I can go ahead and abuse that fact and go ahead and keep trying to push out damage. If I can get his last Lily from him, that'll be fine, because whenever I play this Bahamut, it'll stick, and then I'll kill him. Alright, so he does give me a roach here, which is fine, because now it means he can't triple roach me, and that he'll need a bounce. He does show me his second roach too, and here I'm expecting it to get Ancient Elf. He does have it, that's fine. However, look at his hand. His hand is anemic. Roach thrives off of when you have like multiple cards in hand, and we have multiple bounces. But he's already given me 2 Ancient Elves. I believe he's used the guidance as well. I'm not sure. I don't actually remember though. And I still have Bahamut, so he has to get through. As long as I can find a good turn to heal, then he can't ever kill me. So here he does play out the EPM, and now I have to be kind of scared just because he does have 0 cost now, and I can die. All right, so this turn I misplay. I should have just gone Dragon Newt Fist, or did I go Dragon Newt Fist? Yeah, I should have just either traded or decided to hold on to the Dragon Newt Fist. I believe I go face and I just use the Fist. However, if I just traded and then just replayed the Ella, there's no actual damage calc outside of me hitting second Grimnir that makes a difference from me keeping him at 9 or me keeping him at 7. So yeah, it would have to be either Grimnir or Oro. However, that also requires for him to not like clear my board, and I think he still has another Lily in hand. So I use the fist. I just gonna push in a little bit more damage. Another crucial thing is I have healed to 19. So for the most part, Roach combo at like 10 mana, it usually does. I was told 17 damage, 16 damage, something like that. So as long as I stay above that number, he can't kill me. Additionally, if he is Silverbolt, he still can't kill me, and he runs the risk of dying to any damage from my hand. So he plays with the Goblin Mage here, that's fine. He then also lilies me one last time, like, cool, awesome, fine, we'll take it. So here, I just gonna drop my Bahamut. There is merit to me trying to draw into lethal. However, now he does play the crystalia Lily for I think a total of... I believe he lilied me 6 times. 6 times, yeah. And then plays like EPM. I really wanted to be able to play Polyroar, but I was just like too afraid of dying, so I just go ahead and Bahamut him. And here, he's going for the combo. Hits me for 6. Then plays Ancient Elf, bounces that all back. Hits me for 8. And then at this point, right, so this turn right now, I need to be in damage control mode because he's dropped me to 5. If he has the 3rd Roach, I die to the 3rd Roach. So so this turn I absolutely have to heal. It's not enough to just ward, I have to heal as well. Just that way I put enough roadblocks between him and my face. I'm actually yeah. So the ideal thing for me to have seen here would maybe be 3rd Sybil. However, I do get the Blazing Breath. This is nice because even if he does somehow have another bounce, I've now cleared off this Roach. And I already know what three of his last like 4 cards are, so thankfully me healing actually just saved my life because he had Silverbolt for 6, so I would have died there. But yeah, that was just it was just a really crazy game because like he made me go through a lot of bullshit, and I honestly could have lost. Like it honestly just came down to him killing my Ayla on 3. Him killing that Ayla on 3, it gave me enough gas to just like draw all the stuff I needed for so that way I didn't get like hindered by the Crystalia Lily spam, which is honestly again so tilting, like you don't even know. And then like after that, like I do think that there's maybe like 1 or 2 turns where I could have like played it out a little bit differently, but for most part, with the plays that I made and being conservative on kind of like layering my threats, I'm able to actually eventually outgrind all of the Crystalia Lilies and then even like survive the burst. Again, I just barely survived the burst, but still, you take the wins that you can get, and and yeah, that's just really good. That was just like a really great game overall. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Go ahead and leave a like if you did. Go ahead and let me know what you think about Forest as a whole in this meta, or Dragon as a whole in this meta, down in the comments below. And I'll catch you guys next time.